2016.
Who did you meet in 2016?
Rtboss. So the first incident that happened, we had went to Miami, but we had drove there. At the time, me and my mom, we couldn't fly there or fly back because of like personal reasons.
Wagwan guys, welcome back to Vibes with Rosa Mix Up and Chill. So me see this young man speaks out telling Spice his story that Rtboss allegedly did some things to him when he was much younger. If you're new over here, definitely remember to like the video guys, share the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss daily update, gossip, entertainment and more over Vibes with Rosa, everything there. You don't want to miss out. So, I could go down in the video now guys. Yo, this took another turn. Listen what I want, people.
So I like to cook different meat, and I myself, I like to dabble in a lot of different things. But let me just jump into why I'm really here. So most of the times when I go live, a lot of you guys, you take away only the little mix-up part from the live. This live, what I want you to take away from it is the power of God. Today's Sunday, you know. When we get up this morning, I worship. And we finish worship, you know, you check up Wagwan, and I got a message from someone. When I got the message, I realized that I serve a powerful God. See, many of you see this thing happening with me and you don't even see the grace of God. You don't even see the power of God. You only see the talking points. But when I finish this live, I want you to take away from it that Jesus is King, that there is a God and that there is only one God. Because many people are making it look like enough God. But there's only one God. I'm going to continue to say that. You know, this person that I'm about to go live with, I've never met them before. I don't know him. And I find myself in a situation where I came out and I openly spoke about what happened to him. When we come out and we talk about what happened to this person, the accuser came out with a fake document. Talk about, oh, I'm gonna sue you. But that's why I want you guys to take away the power of God. Because this particular person is acting like them a God. And this particular person go around and manipulate people to have a fear over them. But I only fear God. And I only fear the power of God. And on this Sunday morning, me never wait till Monday. But me have to show you the prophecy of God and the power of God. Because once again, this person that I'm going live with, I do not know him. But God sent him right on my doorstep. So again, before we even continue, I want you to realize my God when we worship, which is Jesus the King, how powerful he is. Spice Official, that stat said we held this for 3 years. Hold on 1 second. When you know me, I know if you use them, stop me. So just give me a second. Shit, this has a check multiple requirements. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's why. Okay, so now I gotta switch camera. See, I'm on live on 2 phones for a reason today. Say hi to each other. Which means I can't go live on TikTok. Me know them that gonna come with them crew for block me. So everybody on TikTok gotta meet me on Instagram live. Love, happy Sunday. You gonna want to see this. Stay tuned. Hold on. I don't know. I really know if you don't use them something, but we're gonna figure it out today. Hold on.
I just sent a request.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So many people. Why is someone trying to always a request to go live with me? I found you. On TikTok, you gotta come on Instagram. I went live on purpose on 2 phones. Let me know if you see it. I just accepted it. Okay, I got you right there. Let me switch camera, hold on. Let me switch phones, hold on. I knew that when I went over TikTok, they would have reported the live because they have a gang of people that they work with. But I'm going to tell them about the power of God and them not understand. So if you want to stay on TikTok, you can. I got 2 phones today. Hold on. How you feeling?
Nerve-wracked, but it is what it is, you know.
Well, I just want to, you don't know me and I don't know you. But first I want to say thank you for just reaching out. Thank you for putting on a brave face. I also know that you are going to be nervous. You're going to feel, you know, sad and down, and it's taking a lot for you to do this. But I want to say thank you for being a voice for the voiceless, because that's what you're doing right now. You're being a hero. So to put on your brave face to come forward, I really, really want to say I respect that for you, and I'm with you. I'm here.
I appreciate it. I mean, I know everybody probably wondering why I'm choosing to speak up now, because honestly, this is something that I have kept with myself for years. It wasn't until probably like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, that I told my mom about it, and I told her to kind of get it off my chest, because for me it was more so a lot of things that I was finally opening up to do, like, long story short, basically.
What for draws? Go ahead, sorry.
Basically, I'll just start from when it happened, when I met him. I met him like around the beginning of 2016.
Who did you meet in 2016?
Rtboss. So I met him around like 2016. And it was like a group of people that I met along with him. Throughout that time, me and my mom and him got like close, because he was basically doing what he, you know, claimed he do, like spiritually leading her. So the first incident that happened, we had went to Miami, but we had drove there. At the time, me and my mom, we couldn't fly there or fly back because of like personal reasons. With that being said, the person that drove us down there to drive us back, they basically started saying their car was acting up, so we were stuck down there. So at the time, she was cool with him, and she was explaining the story of how we were stuck down there. So he offered to come pick us up. He came in this, I think it was an SUV. It was like one of them eight-seater trucks. It was me, my mom, my sister, my best friend, and my sister's father. And he had came along with somebody else. Throughout the trip, like each time that we would stop, if I was sitting like in the back seat, he would come in the back seat. The next time we stopped and I moved to the front, he would come in.
Hold on 1 second. You're freezing up.
Probably from the right position.
You're freezing up.
Hello?
Yeah, you froze up a while ago.
Sorry about that. What was the last thing?
You said you were driving, you were on a trip. Every time you go in the back seat, you also come in the back seat.
Each time when I switched seats, he would switch seats too. One of the times we stopped at the gas station, he basically came in and he did it to me and my best friend. To where it's like, he pulled me to the side and was like, I'm feeling something in your spirit. And I was just like, no, what are you talking about? Then he was basically proceeding to say, I know you're gay, and I know you don't want At the time, I was like in the closet. I feel like everybody that has Caribbean parents know how it is coming out to Caribbean parents. So that was one of my biggest fears growing up. Like, with that being said, halfway through the trip, when the trip was finishing, I fell asleep and I woke up and.
So how old were you? How old were you at that time?
I was around 17.
17.
I was like 17.
Okay. I don't know how to turn. They're telling me to turn off the comments, but I don't know how to. How do I turn off the comments, guys? This is. Let me see. Question. No question. How do I turn the comments off? This I request to go live.
Honestly, the comments is not bothering me.
Okay.
This is something that, like, if I wanted to speak about this, I could have spoke about this before when it happened. I would have never waited years. My mother just found out 2 years ago.
Right.
This happened in 2017.
Yeah.
So after that incident happened, I woke up and I seen his hands on me. It was kind of, I pushed him away, and it was like I stayed to myself the rest of the ride.
So just to be clear, you're saying he knew that he knew what you were, and him come and try use it against you. So at the time he knew, but your family did not know.
Correct. With that being said, after that trip, I think we stopped at his house in Delaware, where I think we met his wife or whatever the case is. That day, he went about his way. We went back home, or whatever the case is. A couple months later, almost a year.
They said you should clear it up. Were you 17 or 16? Because they heard at the time when you met him, you were 16.
I was turning 17.
Okay.
So, with that being said, and I said 2016 is when I met him and when I went on the trip.
Right.
The whole incident to where everything happened, it happened later on in 2017 because we seen him again.
Yeah. So he molested you in 2017, but you met him in 2016. But you're getting there to the story. We just want to clear that up.
Right. I'm just trying to explain
how everything happened.
That happened that led there.
Okay.
With that being said, there was an incident to where me and my mom, we fell out, and we was talking for like 6 months. One day I got called over to my mom's house because my mom we lived at 2 separate houses. Like, if you know, well, most people that know where I'm from in Brooklyn, where my family stayed at. So I got called over there. He was there. My mom was there. My best friend, a tattoo artist, was there. We was all getting tattoos. I didn't get one or whatever case. That's the same time my best friend got a tattoo. My mom got a tattoo. With that being said, the night was getting low, and at the time, I guess he wasn't gonna drive back to Maryland or wherever he was staying at the time. So he was trying to find a hotel. With that being said, my mom asked me, which at the time she didn't know how I felt towards him, because after that first incident, I tried to make sure like I always stayed far. I ended up having to basically show him where the hotel was, or drive with him to go to the hotel, and he was supposed to basically Uber me back home. We live in Brooklyn, past the hotel in Brooklyn, and we ended up at a hotel in Queens. With that being said, when I got into the hotel, I was like, okay, so am I going back home now? And he was like, no. As far as like the in-between conversations, like it wasn't much of it because it was nerve-wracking. It was like, I was told to drop you here. And me knowing how it was or whatever the case is, I necessarily didn't want to be around this dude at all. What made everything kind of transpire is because he told me that he was going to tell my family about me being gay. And for me and my family, that would have probably been the biggest, like, falling out. It would have been a whole issue. And at the time, I'm 17, I have nowhere to stay for my own, or whatever the case is. being said, one thing led to the next, to where it's like I wasn't able to leave or get home until I did what he told me to do.
So when you got to the hotel, you said you weren't able to leave?
Yeah, like we was in Queens at the time. Like my mom, she had gave him money because she was giving him money as well. So I was the one that had the funds on me.
So your mom gave him the money?
Correct. And I'm gonna just point out, like my mom, like at the time, still at that time, she didn't know anything that was happening. So one thing led to the next, to the point where it's like he did what he did, and I don't know why people would think that I'm lying, because for me to sit here and make up such a drastic story is ridiculous.
What did he do to you?
To the point.
You say he did what he did, but please tell the world what he did to you.
So he raped me, like he molested me. Like it was to the point where it's like, even before he started it, he was trying to find a condom and couldn't find one, and he reached for a plastic bag.
What? What?
I can't say shit like that. Like, first of all, my mom didn't know what was happening. My mom found out. First of all, my mom didn't even know I was gay. My mom didn't find out that I was gay until years after this.
God Almighty, man. God Almighty. The blood of Jesus is against that man. May I tell you, hey, me say this is a spiritual warfare, and me I tell you this God above the devil, but the blood of Jesus is against that man. He held you down and raped you.
And there's a few things that, so what made me kind of keep quiet about it, aside from my family or whatever the case is, it was like his way of trying to keep me quiet about the situation at the time. I think after the situation, he had sent my mother money to give to me. Like he just went on like it wasn't an issue. He was texting me, still trying to talk to me or whatever the case is. And it was just like, for me, I was just traumatized that it happened, because, yeah, I'm gay, bisexual, but I didn't ask for this man to do what he did.
So he knew that you were gay or bisexual, and he took that to his advantage because you came from a Jamaican household. So he know you wouldn't want to talk about it.
He knew I didn't want to talk about it, because when we was in that Miami trip and he pointed it out, the whole conversation that was had in that gas station was the fact that I did not want my family to know about it.
So he
I didn't tell my mother about it until a year and a half after I came out to my mother. I came out to my mother after COVID, the end of the 2020, 21. And then I didn't speak about that situation until after, and I just spoke about it because growing up, it was stuff to where my mom went through something like that. So when I felt comfortable enough, it was like she was the only person I could talk to about it. And I wasn't talking to her about it to sit here and go through all of this. I was talking to her to get it off my chest. See, everybody, if people know that my grandmother, my family that I come from, it is strict. Certain things they don't play with.
No, I'm from Jamaica, so I understand. People who's not from Jamaica may not understand, but a Jamaica me come from, so me understand what you mean when you're saying you come from a strict family who would probably be against, who you are. So me understand and me get it. And that's why even me as a Jamaican woman who's always advocating and fighting for my fans who are gay, I'm happy you found comfort in me to want to talk to me about it.
And one of the reasons why I even choose to speak up about it now is because, like I said, I didn't want anyone to know. I wasn't ready to sit here and talk about this. When this came out, the person that called me was a family friend, and what she was speaking, it made it seem like she knew what happened. So I felt a little comfortable telling her, but I didn't know I was being recorded. I didn't know I was going to wake up to my voice all over social media. I didn't sit here and ask for this.
You didn't.
I said to myself for years, because I know how it is. Like, people speak up, and the first thing is I'm looking in the comments. It's like, yeah, I'm gay, but that don't mean that's the right for me to be molested or
It's not.
raped by somebody. Like,
It's not. It didn't give him any right to rape you. And I'm so sorry you went through that as a child. I'm so sorry.
my thing about it, while I'm speaking about it now, is because with that recording that's sent out against, because I did not sit there and know that she was recording me. So with that recording and everybody coming up with their own assumptions and dragging my sister and my mother in it, and it's just like, my mother really ain't know. The same people that he just paid to go see my grandmother didn't know until yesterday.
Wow.
I begged my mother not to say nothing because I didn't want to go through this. I'm a very quiet and reserved person, and this is a lot of attention for no reason. And not for no reason, but it's just like, I refuse to sit there and have what was done to me twist and turn and chopped and screwed when that wasn't how it is. He know exactly what he did. And it's like, if he's doing it to other people, why is it so hard to believe that this is something that he did? Like, at the time, he was using my mother for money, so he kept her close. So he was making sure he was in her ear.
I want you to say that, just that one line again. He was using your mother for what?
He was using my mother for money. When she stopped sending the money, he got irritated. That's around the same time when he was sitting there blasting and going.
Because that's what he goes around and do to people. He did the same thing to me. Use you for money, and when you realize that he's a liar and he's a manipulator and he's trying to use you, then he wants to tarnish you. When he can't have his way with you, he try to tear you down.
And anybody that know me, I didn't do this. I'm not doing this for no recognition or no money. If that's the case, I would have did this when it happened. Everybody that know family that I come from, my mother got money. My mother loaded. Same reason why he wanted to be around her. The same reason why he wanted to sit there and be close. I just don't like how it was approached, because I feel like if that same person that recorded me would have just pulled me aside and called me and be like, yo, so he did this to a few other people. Like, you feel like you're ready to speak about it? Let me decide what I want to talk about. It's my pain, it's my trauma.
So you kept that pain and you didn't talk about it. It was until the recording that I played with the person that you didn't know.
I woke up and I see the recording all over, and people DMing me and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, where is this coming from? And this is exactly why most people don't get up and talk about certain stuff that they go through, because it's always like, you can't put a time when somebody's gonna speak up on their trauma and when they was hurt, when they was put in a position where they, like, and then knowing that you gay on top of it, ain't nobody gonna believe you, ain't nobody gonna sit there. Like, it took me a time to tell my mother, and it was a process, because first I had to come out and tell her that I was gay.
What is your...
I couldn't live with knowing that I don't like when things are used or held above me. Like, I understand what everybody was trying to do with the recordings and stuff like that. I just felt like I should have had the space to properly be able to do this and explain what it was, because I wasn't ready. This recording surfaced months ago. I've been blocking and removing people from my page because my peace is getting disrupted. I had to move. I moved from New York to Florida. When this recording came out, it was in Florida, and when I figured out, somebody mentioned that he lives in Florida. Where do you think I'm at now? I moved. The whole point is to stay away from this man, to stay off his radar. I have him blocked on everything for a reason.
What has your life been like after he did that to you? Why do you keep moving? Are you still afraid of him? Because I'm here to tell you, let me tell you something. I'm here to tell you there's nothing to be afraid of. He's a liar. He's a scammer. He ain't no fucking Obia man. Him can't do nothing. He's not talking to no spirit. There's one God. Do not let him put no fear into you. Don't make him put no fear into you.
Now that I'm older, I realize what you're saying, but when I was younger and him prophesizing certain things and predicting certain things or being right with certain things.
He didn't predict this, did he? Did he predict that you are going to get the strength one day to come out and talk your truth? Did he predict this?
I don't think he ever thought that I would have came out and said something.
Okay. Don't let him tell you him can predict nothing because him couldn't predict him own future. Him never predicts that when him come out on social media and try to go up against me that all of this would have come back around at his footstep. Him never predict this. He used what he, because let me tell you something, I met that man as a pastor. I tell people this already and I don't know if they believe me. Meet him as a pastor Smith and he came around me and him try to manipulate people's mind. All of the people that is picking up for him, he is because the same thing he did to you, he's doing to them, which is telling them things and they believe it. Say, oh, him a prophet, him can see things and see in the future, I'm a spirit. Him a obey man, me not want him obey me, so them a pick up for him. He uses that as his power. Don't make him make you feel like say, if him did a pray to some spirit, what make the spirit can't do nothing for him? Don't make him put no fear in you and you move up and down and afraid of him. Him can't do nothing to you. God is above mankind. You hear me? I've never been, I'm telling you, say,
there's people just gotta understand sometimes when it comes to certain things like this, it's a lot more that comes to it than just speaking out. It's the embarrassment that comes with it. It's the shame. It's the
I know.
It's people sitting there telling that you lying. Like,
let me tell you something. I don't know you. I can see the hurt in your eyes. I can see the embarrassment, but there's nothing to be ashamed of because you were raped, molested as a child. It was something that was taken from you. You didn't have control of it. It was nothing that you did to yourself. But now that you're older and now that you're wiser, now that you're a man, you know what I'm saying? Now you're speaking your truth and you're living in your truth. Don't stay home and make nobody make you sad and depressed. This is your truth. This is your story. So I'm happy that you were willing to tell your story for yourself. The only thing, I'm sorry that you didn't report it because people like that deserve to be off the streets.
if I would have sat there and reported it, my whole family would have found out and it would have been sad to say, and it's not a bash against my family, but they really do look at how they're viewed. So not only would it put me on the spotlight, but it would have put a spotlight on my family too.
Wow.
Literally,
It's
my
not.
family didn't find out this until yesterday. The only person I knew was my mom, and the same person that reported it, me and my mom, was my mom's friend, and I really thought we were. For me to sit there and open up to her about that, I thought we was on a different level. You know, I didn't expect for this to happen.
I'm proud of your, big up to your mom because I'm proud of your mom for supporting you. Like for, you know what I'm saying?
Man, from I told her she's made it easier living with that. Because it's easier to relate.
I feel like you still should report it. I feel like if you put it into the law's hand, they will be able to pull the footage from that hotel. I feel like you should still be able to report it.
Like, these simple things like that, footage, camera, all of that can be pulled up.
Yes.
It's a shame that I don't have my other, the phone that I had back then, I don't have it no more. So even the messages between us and stuff like that.
The phone company can't get back the message. All of what you're saying, you may not be able to get it back, but once you start that case, everything will come full circle. The police have a way of finding everything. That's not even your worry. Your worry is to make that first move of reporting it. Stop and it shouldn't have started.
Multiple people are speaking about the same thing with this dude.
And people still supporting him.
These are all the people that he's been around. You can't all be sitting here saying the same thing about the one person.
And there's so many other people who's afraid to come forward and speak.
I was scared too. I got forced to come out and speak. I wasn't ready to speak what happened. And I know that, I guess I probably made me look bad, but it's mine. It's what I went through. So it's like, I won't, and I'm not going to sit there and let everybody lie on or try to twist and turn what I've been through. Like, I have no reason to be sitting here and lying. And these stories that everybody coming up with is real far-fetched. Because even as far as my mother in Jamaica, like, when me and my mother went to Jamaica, we wasn't dealing with this man. We stayed on a villa the whole time. It was me, my cousin, my sister, and my aunt that live in Jamaica.
Guys, this is a sticky situation. Me never did know say as so far this thing would have come. This thing gone overboard. Me never did know say it would have really come to this. And we are talk about some serious things right here. So serious things. That guy is the victim of such things with Rtboss allege. Anyway, people, let me know what you think about this. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because I don't want to miss daily updates, gossip, entertainment, over vibes with Rosa. Everything there. Fresh as a job.